itself that creates jobs. All it does is to create an enabling environment. Most of the jobs you need in a country would come from the private sector. As long as you have an enabling environment, it is the private sector that will create the jobs. He also noted that the President Buhari has achieved in all sectors, including oil and gas, infrastructure, legislative matters, and security. So look at this. Not the job of government, not the duty of government to create jobs, the presidential spokesperson or advisor has stated, but rather government's responsibility is to create an enabling environment so the private sector can flourish and, of course, as a consequence of that, create jobs. So we'll talk about this in the 5 o'clock hour. Have governments in Nigeria, and I mean government at the various levels, not just the federal government, have governments in Nigeria created enabling environment for jobs creation? Have they done that? Be it the federal government, be it state governments, be it, non-existent local governments. Have they done that? I'd like to get your take on that in the 4 o'clock hour. And on the comment of the presidential spokesperson as well, that it's not the duty of government to create jobs. You're taking that as well. That takes us to 5 o'clock. The news update is up at 5. And right after that, another matter. Also, concerning the government and its plans to improve the quality of life of Nigerians, or, maybe efforts made, I suppose. Here's another story from the Punch newspaper. 1.6 million poor households paid 10,000 naira stipend bi-monthly, and that's according to the federal government. A bit of the story as well. The regime of the President, Buhari, on Monday claimed that a total of 1.6 million poor households benefited from a bi-monthly payment of 10,000 naira each as part of the regime's plan to mitigate suffering among the citizens. And the Minister of Labour, Employment and Productivity, Dr. Chris Ngige, made this known during the 2023 International Workers' Day celebrations at the Eagle Square in Abuja on Monday. He said, quote, in 2016, President Buhari launched the National Social Investment Program, currently the largest of such programs in Africa and one of the largest in the world. The National Social Register of Poor and Vulnerable Nigerians now has 32.6 million persons from more than 7 million poor and vulnerable households identified across the 708 local government areas, 8,723 wards, and 86,610 communities across the 36 states of the country and the FCT. From this number, 1.6 million poor and vulnerable households comprising more than 8 million individuals in 45,774 communities, are currently benefiting from the Conditional Cash Transfer Program, which pays a bi-monthly stipend of 10,000 naira per household. We'll talk about this as well. We'll take a look at this also, and remember that the whole point of this, according to the federal government, is to mitigate suffering among the citizens. So I'll ask you a very direct question on this: to what extent has this conditional cash transfer of 10,000 naira each bi-monthly to 1.6 million households, that's about, according to the government once again, about 32 million persons, I suppose, that's 32.6 million persons precisely, or thereabouts. To what extent has this mitigated the sufferings of Nigerians, or the sufferings of citizens, in your estimation? We'll take a look at this as well in the 5 o'clock hour after the update. Headlines at 5:30 p.m. The major news comes up at 6 p.m. A review of all these matters, including my side comment, is up after that during the open season segments till about 7. The show comes to an end then. Once again, the sports can get in by 7 o'clock for extra time. That's a preview of what to expect in today's edition of Hard Facts. Do stick around, join the conversation once again via any of the aforementioned platforms. But we'll keep things going now, smoothly, hopefully, with today's side comments, random stories, and random thoughts I came across as I checked out the news earlier on. Let's see. River State Governor Yeso Mike has declared Wednesday, 3rd May, public holiday The governor, in a statewide and a state broadcast today, said the holiday is to give the president-elect Bola Tinubu and his entourage a rousing welcome as he commissions the Rumukuta flyover. Well, okay, all right, why not? Let's take a listen to this. Is very important information. So let's take a listen to what the governor had to say as regards this declaration once again.
For us, it's an honor to the government and people of Rivers State to host the president-elect on this historic visit. Consequently, I urge all Rivers citizens to come out en masse to receive our president-elect, the Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and display the traditional Rivers hospitality as he commissions these legacy projects to God's glory and advancement of our development. Given this, I hereby declare Wednesday, 3rd of May 2023 a public holiday to enable the people of Rivers State to receive our president-elect rousingly.
Okay, all right. So now you know, or you're reminded once again, there's a public holiday tomorrow declared by the Rivers State governor. I don't know if congratulations are in order. I don't know. Maybe they are. Well, the governor obviously is excited that the president-elect will be visiting Rivers State. I suppose that's a good thing. And the commissioner of the flyover as well, also a good thing, I suppose. You know, it will ease traffic to some degree as well. So all good things, I guess. Yeah. But beyond the merrymaking and the fanfare, which will possibly commence tomorrow, for me it will be interesting to see what plays out. I mean, barring whatever happens at the election petitions tribunal across the country, one cannot foretell what the courts will determine eventually. But if the situation remains as is, after all, after litigation has been concluded, and the courts, as far as they can go, or as high as they can go, if the situation remains as is, it will be in the political scheme thing as far as the government interactions with the federal government. Not forgetting that they still belong to two different political parties at the moment, the PD in Rivers State and the APC the federal government. I hope, I don't know, all of this talk about how God is in order is a one thing. It would be interesting, maybe if there's no line, maybe, who knows? Some of the usual rhetoric that has been employed in the town center, using it in River State, and they're finishing off in River State, and all of that. Anyways, well, time will tell. Time tells everything, doesn't it? Well, congratulations to everyone once again. It will be nice that the flyover is open, really. I'm sure that most persons residing or doing business in River State and Port Harcourt would like to be able to use the Rumukuta axis of town, to ease movement, so that would be a good thing. Let's see, what else caught my attention as I checked out the news earlier today? Do I have enough time for this? Do I have enough time for another one? Former chairperson of NLC Rivers State, Beatrice Tubo, has questioned the sincerity of Rivers State government employed 10,000 civil servants. Mr. Tubo, who was the governorship candidate of Labour Party, said this while speaking on the morning crossfire. I don't know. The government, remember that the governor and workers they rally at Buga once they in Port Harcourt promised to help reduce rent. I'll come back to this after the commercial break, which I must enter right now. Just stick around. Hard Act continues in a bit.
You are tuned in to 93.3 Nigeria FM.
Smart Factor Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. 26 minutes gone past 3 p.m. and the open seat. No, pardon me. My side comments still continue right now. Before I went on the break, was talking about was about to pass a comment and something credited to the former NLC chairperson in Rivers State and a governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Rivers State as well, and just concluded general elections. He expressed certain reservations regarding the Rivers State Governor's directive, that 10,000 persons be employed into the Rivers State civil service. Let's take a listen to her concerns again.
It's another thing to make a policy statement, another thing to actually give the mandate that that policy statement should be implemented. And so if you have made, I want to employ, I want it does not denote that you have started employment. And if you have put in place the Civil Service Commission, you have not given them directives, because everything in government, you must give directives. There are circulars that they use to work. So you cannot just wake up because somebody has said in the maybe on radio interview, television interview, I want to employ, and you go all out and begin to advertise. That's exactly what we are talking of, the sincerity. If it's not the will they live up to it? Has there been directives? Are they going to implement it?
Now, one might understand the reservations expressed by the former NLC chairperson in Rivers State, but this is coming from the Rivers State governor directing Civil Service Commission to initiate the employment of 10,000 civil servants. Governor Wike gave the charge at an event to mark this year's Workers' Day celebration at the Liberation Stadium in Port Harcourt, represented by Secretary to the Rivers State government, Tammy Denagogo. The governor said it is part of measures taken by his administration to reduce unemployment.
Accordingly, we have improved the ease of doing business, primarily tackled insecurity, and created an enabling fiscal regime for business to thrive in the state. Going around the state, we can see new investments and companies spring up and hire workers due to the friendly fiscal and economic measures we have put in place. Recently, we directed the Civil Service Commission to initiate the employment process of 10,000 workers into the state civil service.
Oh, okay. So I get it now. I was wondering about that. Is it the 10,000 that were mentioned before, or was this a fresh 10,000? So I think it's still the one that was mentioned before. But then that's been weeks now, I suppose. I mean, that's been a couple of weeks now since that was mentioned. Where are they? How long will it take to employ these 10,000 persons? And if you consider the antecedents of the administration, once again, you might understand why British Tubo is expressing these reservations, why she's cautious to express excitement over the announcement. Of course, you might remember, I think it was in the first term of this administration when the government did a needs assessment. It did it itself. It wasn't done by UN or WHO or the World Bank or ISIS or Hezbollah or by the opposition. It was the government that did it, and it determined it needed, I think was it 10,000 teachers and maybe 4,000 non-teaching staff. That did not happen. At least to the best of my knowledge, it didn't happen. Then there was another time, I think it was in the second term, that was it 5,000 workers? I think there was an announcement that 5,000 persons were to be employed, and for that reason, Port Harcourt, or at least the Secretariat area, was shut down for hours for I think 2 days or thereabouts. Because crowds of persons, people thronged there to go submit applications. Before it was now thought of, okay, you know what, we can actually accept these applications online. And I don't know if anything happened as from that as well. So there's been lots of talk of employing persons. Well, the one that worked out very quickly, I suppose, was what did they call them again? Can someone remind me, please? The ones that was it 100,000 or 200,000 or so? Some special assistant. What was the official designation? Can you help me out, please? Via WhatsApp on 0809 030 6416. That one happened very quick. That was very quick. Can someone help me with the official designation? What were they called? Matter just before the concluded general elections. That was very. Okay, someone says 200,000 personal assistants. No, they were called something else. Advisors. No. Special assistants to the governor on polling units. Aha, I think that was it. I think that's the one. Special assistants on polling units matters. That's another one. Okay, all right, something of that nature. That happened quickly. I think that's the one time that the current River State government has mentioned employment, and just like that, snap of a finger, it happened. There wasn't any undue waiting period. There was no, it just happened immediately. By the way, do those guys still have their jobs now? I'm just wondering. There's 100 or 200,000 persons. Do they still have their jobs? And I know there was some controversy, complaints from them as to whether or not they were paid as well. Did you guys get paid eventually? Just asking. Just asking. All right, so let's see. What else caught my attention as I checked out the news today? Organized Labour has raised the alarm over what it described as last-minute looting of the Treasury by outgoing governors, ministers and other political office holders. Leaders of the NLC and TUC counterpart to raise the alarm in a joint address delivered at the National Workers' Day celebration held at Eagle Square, Abuja. They called on the president to do everything possible to stop them. The two Labour centres also warned the incoming government that they would resist. Okay, so hold on. I'm not. Sometimes I don't get Labour. So you have Labour has information that at the state level there is last-minute looting going on, right? That governors, ministers, political office holders are engaging in last-minute looting, and then they're calling on who? Calling on the president. So, does that mean that there's no last-minute looting in the presidency? Just asking. I don't know. It seems the information available to Labour is that only ministers and other persons. So, in the presidency, that suggests that in the presidency, there is no last-minute looting going on. Now, how did Labour come about this information of last-minute looting? Is it just a hunch? Is it a feeling? Does Labour just feel that there's last-minute looting going on? Or does Labour have any concrete evidence, or at least some persons engaging in some kind of looting? And if Labour has information or concrete evidence that persons in government, either at state or federal level, are engaging in what it has termed last-minute looting, what is the nature of this evidence? Has it presented this evidence to anybody? To the police, for example, to the ICPC, to the EFCC, or even, I'm sure that there are tons of media outfits out there, both print and broadcast, that would not mind, upon confirming the authenticity of the document or information or evidence, they'll be quick to publish such evidence. So it'll be nice for Labour to go beyond, mere announcing what might be considered a hunch, to provide actual, concrete, substantial evidence that some person or persons are engaging in what it has termed last-minute looting, whatever that means, really. By the way, how is last-minute looting different from previous looting? I mean, is there any particular difference to it? Can someone help me out, please? Send me a message. Is there any difference to or any particular danger, that last-minute looting poses compared to looting that may have been? I'm not saying anybody has been looting. Of course, we have people of high integrity in government. They would never loot. So, I mean, just assuming, hypothetically speaking, of course, that looting has been going on for 4 years or 8 years, how is last-minute looting different from previously ongoing looting? As if there was previously ongoing looting, allegedly, of course, allegedly. I see. Anything else catch my attention as I... some residents of Rumokpara in Obiako local government area, Rivers State, are calling on government to expand and channel drainage systems on the Akpara and Boba Link Road as the narrow gutters cause heavy flooding in the area. They told our correspondent that floods enter their homes whenever it rains, and some of this person had some things to say to our reporter. Just a moment while I... whip that one up. Let's see, and here it is.
I've been living here in Apara Ring Road for at least 7 years now, and we have been experiencing this flood for that 7 years. In 2017, we have a huge flood here that we even use boat. So we want the state government to at least help us, just to link the drainage somewhere that at least the gutter will be moving free.
It's affecting everybody. Even some people living around here, flood will also affect them in their houses. Even the cars, they can't be able to pass if the rain start now. They can't pass. The cost of this flood, number one is the gutter. The gutter is not wide enough. Two, building. They build the houses and they also block everywhere.
It's very disturbing. Whenever there is rain, here used to be flooded. You can't even locate the gutter and the road.
Okay, well, folks are complaining about that, and it is a matter to be concerned about, really. I mean, the floods, the rains are here. The floods are here as well already, and it's going to get worse, especially in coastal areas. In the cities, it's been felt already. Drainages are completely blocked, just a little rain for a short time. Everywhere is locked down. Floods everywhere right now, And I'm sure you might, if you've been listening to the show long enough, you know what the strategy is, what the response with this takes the question of different routine and gradually last minute that routine has no fear. Keep what the hell down from Sony. Flooring place. So what's the response to that? Looting is awarding laminating million contracts and painting in Valencia. So estimated loot is different from previously existing looting. And our response to the floods is one in enough one destroy
And now, hard facts.
Hard facts.
Now it's the time now for something in my farm to find links all the way till leadership is affecting all the power. At some point, the excellency or the honorable comes to realization. I'm powerful. I've got a lot. I actually have a lot of powers. So that's the pattern. Just start issuing orders. How these orders are going to be effected, how they're going to be implemented, how it impacts the lives of the people, in many instances, is of no consideration of the said Honorable Excellency who is issuing the order. It is simply an exercise of powers that the Honorable Excellency suddenly realizes that he or she possesses. And how else can I show to the world that I have all these powers right now if I don't issue orders, whether people's lives are destroyed by it or not, whether people like it or not? As a matter of fact, the more people don't like how people like my orders. No. If they like it, then it means that maybe I'm pandering to their needs, or or they are controlling me. No. The more people don't like my orders, but they don't have a choice, they must obey it, or else I will crush them. It shows how powerful I really am. And whilst orders themselves are not necessarily a bad thing, as a matter of fact, government or leadership must be able to issue orders. And those orders don't always have to be liked by the people, because sometimes leadership has to be able to take some tough decisions. And tough decisions may not be easy or even convenient for the people, but it's what they need, it's what's right for them. Government or leadership in Nigeria needs to be extra sensitive and emotionally intelligent in issuing these orders, and consider how it would impact the lives of the people. For example, a story here from Premium Times. Soludo threatens to sanction workers who obey IPOB sit-at-home order. Here's the story. Mr. Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State has threatened to cut salaries of workers who failed to go to work on Monday in compliance with the in-favor sit-at-home order, usually enforced by the outlawed IPOB. Soludo said this on Monday while addressing the state workers during the 2023 May Day celebration held at the Alex Ekweme Square, Oka, according to a report. The governor said the Monday sit-at-home had become an excuse for workers to stop coming to work on Mondays, insisting that such would not continue under his watch. Monday sit-at-home, he said, quote, Monday sit-at-home has become an excuse for workers to stop coming to work on Mondays. This cannot continue. You cannot be working for just 4 days a week and earn full salaries. We must go back to work on Mondays. If we do not go to work, we must not get our full salary. We must be paid proportionally with the number of days we work. If we must continue staying away from work on Mondays, then we will start coming to work on Saturday. Okay. Question is, why did workers, people in the state, stop going to work on Mondays? And by the way, not just public servants, even private businesses shut down, banks shut down on Mondays as well. Some other southeastern states also. Why did that happen? Some background here. To implement only on the days Kanu appears in court. But despite its suspension, residents of the 5 southeast states, Enugu, Ebonyi, Imo, Abia, and Anambra, have been observing the Monday sit-at-home order mostly out of fear. Some residents and motorists, including commuters, have been attacked lately by gunmen for stepping out of their homes on Monday and other declared sit-at-home days. So that's it, Your Excellency, Mr. Governor. Maybe some of workers in Anambra State are lazy, maybe. I mean, some human beings are lazy, generally speaking. But why did the vast majority of persons conform to this sit-at-home order? The answer is very simple. Because government was unable to ensure their safety, whether it's the non-existent local government over there, or the state government, or the federal government for that matter, which largely controls the security apparatus in the country, was unable to guarantee, and possibly still is unable to guarantee the safety of these people. So His Excellency the Governor has issued this order: you must come to work on Monday, else we will cut your salary. Let's not forget, the Governor, His Excellency, and his aides possibly, the Governor especially, goes about with his own personal cantonment of security detail. I mean, we've got the police, the NSCDC very likely will be there, a special tactical unit of the police will be there, mobile police will be there, the SSS will be there, and God knows who else is there as far as providing security for His Excellency the Governor is concerned. But who is providing security for the good people of Anambra State who are expected to go to work on Mondays? And I'm not saying they should not go to work on Mondays. As a matter of fact, they should go to work on Mondays. But is the governor guaranteeing that nothing will happen to any person in Anambra State who goes to work on a Monday or who operates their business on a Monday? Is he guaranteeing that? Now, this order come to work on Mondays or we will cut the salaries, but it didn't come with a guarantee that nothing will happen to you. I hope nothing happens to anyone, really. I will be extremely saddened by any story that someone's been hurt or harmed or even killed because they did not obey some sit-at-home on a Monday. But what if? Is there a guarantee? The government guaranteed the safety of lives and property in the past when people were attacked and even killed because they did not obey the sit-at-home on Monday order. So it will be nice to get business back up and running, including on Mondays in the southeastern states. But it goes beyond issuing orders and threatening workers. We have to identify, can we guarantee the safety of this person? So orders are good, as the governor has ordered in Anambra State. But how do these orders impact the lives of the people, especially those who do not have bulletproof SUVs and their own personal detachment of the DSS to provide security for them? On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. Let's get your take on mine. Got a few minutes to go. Call 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003 or 0007, or live on facebook.com/Nigerian for period. And once again, let's get your take on this. 0817 923 0002 or 0003. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, go ahead, please.
Sitting at home doesn't make any sense to me. Sitting at home doesn't make any sense to me. Governors should have proper wisdom. All the governors that do that should have wisdom. Bible saying, all get wisdom.
Okay, all right. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, Dayo. Good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon, rather. Sitting at home does not help anybody, including the people that are sitting at home. But the truth is this: The people that have tried to violate the order of these people that are enforcing the sit at home have been killed, and a lot of their property being destroyed because they disobeyed the sit at home order. And nobody, including the governor, has done anything to compensate or to ensure that doing this thing are brought to book. Then even the governor himself, before he became the governor, the sit-at-home order has been there. And he doesn't go out doing his business. He doesn't go out. He doesn't go to the bank on Mondays to collect it, to withdraw his money. He was obeying the sit-at-home order because there was no security that will ensure his safety. Now he's ordering people to start work on Monday, or their salary is reduced, without ensuring that these people, nothing will happen to them. And that is the kind of politicians and the leaders we have in this country. I don't know. It will be good. It affects me too. Sometimes I want to travel to my village on Monday, but I cannot. It is affecting everybody. But do the right thing. They will not do the needful, but they want the people to I don't know what is wrong with our leaders. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's not helping anybody, but the leaders must do something to stop it.
Absolutely.
That's my take.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, it's not helping the economies of the southeastern states affected. It's not helping the economy of Nigeria. It's not helping even individual economies, personal economies, when people have to shut their businesses because they're scared that some persons are going to waylay them, or even do worse than that. And getting businesses back up and running and businesses open and put the public service functioning fully on a Monday is a good thing. That's a very good thing. But is there a guarantee? Is the governor issuing his order and at the same time guaranteeing the safety of the lives and properties of the people is asking to go to work on Monday? Anyways, a quick commercial break. I'll return shortly. Please stay with us.
You are tuned.
Your info and taking your thoughts on my rant from just a while ago. We got about 4 minutes ago before 4 p.m. Lines open. Call 0817 923 0002 or 0003 or 0007. Hello, you're welcome. All right. Also joining via Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Donald Sanderson going, there is no security architecture in Anambra and other parts of the country. No one would guarantee the safety of the lives of workers, regardless of the directives issued by the state. Hello, you're welcome. Please go on. Hello?
Hello, Dario. Good day.
You're welcome. Go on.
Thank God is my name, calling me from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
Yes, and Dio, they say he that must come to equity should come with a clean hand. Soludo telling workers not to sit at home on Monday. What are the measures he has put on ground to stop the people enforcing this sit-at-home policy? That him himself as a governor, he used to obey the sit-at-home, even in his bulletproof SUV. He used to obey the sit-at-home order. So what measures have you put in place to guarantee the security of the workers to come out on Monday to go for work while the people enforcing the sit-at-home order are out there on the street, messing up people, molesting them, destroying their properties and their lives? These Nigerian leaders, they just come up with policies that they don't consider the disadvantage and the advantage, or how is affecting the masses. They just consider them so their own self and their families alone. They don't know what the poor masses are going through on the street. And they are not doing anything about it. You just come up and make laws, and when we call on air, they tell us to guide our utterances or to be civil.
Yeah, well,
and they just come on air to make unguided utterances.
Well, you have to be. Are you an excellency?
Leave me out there. It's so annoying. You know, understand?
You are not an excellency, one honorable. So
until I become an excellency first, before I am allowed to
yes, exactly.
Femi Adesina will be here saying what he's saying. Let me just reserve my comments so that I will not spoil your program, please.
Thank you very much. Oh, well, we've got to wrap it up on that note. 4 p.m. in the moment, business news comes up. And discussions continue after that. Speaking of which, it's not the duty of government to create jobs. Femi Adesina is the one saying that. He says government's job is simply to create an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive and thus create jobs. Have they done that? Has the federal government done that? Have state governments across the country done that? Created an enabling environment that will create jobs? Are they doing that? And by the way, even they talk about not creating jobs, what's your take on that? When I return, do please stay with us.
Democracy is the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Nigeria Info opens the mic.